Want to do something wild? Want action and adventure and travel to new lands while saving the world from artificially intelligent chimps? All of this happens right in the palms of your own hands when you play Ape Escape on the PlayStation Portable. This brand new multiplayer version of the quirky and humorous Ape Escape franchise is tailored specifically for the PSP. Launching a game on a new platform raises the level of excitement for the game player and especially the game producer.
Well, the whole year has been exciting. Every day of it. We're launching a whole new technology, portable games. And every day I've been thinking about how I can try to work with this new platform. But the most exciting thing is that a cutting-edge game becomes your own. You don't need to share it with anybody else. The game is personal.
Ape Escape's all about tracking and capturing the monkeys in 40 different minigames with 100 variations featuring a barrel full of fun.
This is basically a game where you catch monkeys with a net. Now, some monkeys who gain intelligence try to go back in time and change history. Then to prevent this and to protect the world, your character travels through time and catches the monkeys. One of my favorite levels is the very first level called Ancient Time. You can enjoy simply capturing the monkeys. Another one is the last level. It's like a carnival where there's a cowboy show, a ghost house, and a roller coaster.
The Ape Escape series has always been a pioneer in video gaming. It was the first to utilize the DualShock controller, and now it's one of the first games available on the PSP with a new focus on function and flexibility.
The first Ape Escape was launched with the controller with DualShock. The PSP version was made free of the interface with the DualShock environment. Now, the most challenging development issue we had was how to comfortably play this game without DualShock. We started designing a game where the major difference was not having DualShock. The gadgets were designed for several action games. Now, in the other series, you have to choose the gadgets to control the DualShock. But in the PSP version, we assigned each gadget to a button. You used to have to hit with the gadget and switch to a net in order to capture monkeys. In the PSP version, you hit and capture them all with one button. The new gadgets are easier to control than the original versions. For example, in the previous versions, you used the radar only to find the direction of the monkeys. But in the PSP version, once you find a monkey, the radar keeps showing where it is, so you can keep track of missing monkeys in real time. And there are some other improvements as well.
There are several different ways to play Ape Escapes on the PSP. Of course, you can play solo, but there's also a two-player mode where two gamers can go head-to-head on one PSP. Player 1 gets the D-pad, and Player 2 uses the game buttons without needing to link up. Things can get really crazy when you go Wi-Fi and link 4 players swinging their nets to snatch some simians.
We're aggressively pursuing the wireless LAN feature in PSP. With regard to Ape Escape, here's the fun part of using the wireless LAN. You actually have the ability to play against your friends who all have ad hoc mode.
Here's a little advice on how to make the best use of your opposable thumbs playing the game.
The PSP version has a lot of message boxes to help users, and they're always shown in all stages, so make sure to hit them to get some advice. And you can have a blast even after clearing the game, so be sure to keep playing.
If you want any more inside info, you'll have to play the game yourself, because when it comes to features and secrets...
Oh yeah, there are many. But if I tell you, I'd spoil all the fun of the games, so I'm not about to tell you that right now.
So it's all up to you to save the world from being overrun by apes when you play Ape Escape on the PSP.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me.
Combining the legendary tales of our past with an enigmatic hero, visceral combat, and flawless cinematic animation, God of War emerges as a game destined to be as classic as the mythology upon which it's based.
When you first pick up the controller, you're instantly in the game and it's very easy to understand how to play. But the more you explore and the more you start to learn the combat system, the deeper it becomes. It really rewards you for trying out different things, finding out what your style of how you want to finish the game or beat this particular enemy is.
to me, the system in God of War is much more organic. You can then go into this like lightning bolt super move, and the guy's just getting rocked completely, and sort of chaining all those things together is something that hasn't come out in any games yet, but I think we really nailed it in God of War.
In their quest to create some truly dynamic animation, the creative team found themselves experimenting with all sorts of innovative techniques to create the game's landmark visuals.
That's the feeling we want to achieve, is that the controller kind of just melts away and you're just taking part in what's happening on screen.
We work with a very talented group of animators. You know, you can't just describe something in words, you know, when you're talking about the way some of these moves should work. So you definitely get up and you act stuff out, and I've had more than one embarrassing situation where I've been in the middle of a meeting and I'll get up and have to demonstrate, oh, he'll be like this, and I end up on the floor and I'm laying all prone on the ground. It gets very physical.
I'd say my favorite sections are some of the hero animations, especially the blades, the fluidity we were able to achieve with blending so many different moves. We're able to achieve that through some of the coding and then some of the animation kind of working together as cohesively as we can. In certain games, it doesn't seem like much attention has been paid to it, but in this game, we put a lot of attention into that.
With God of War's visuals this complex, it's imperative that all the animations be tested repeatedly to meet the expectations of not just the gamers, but the producers themselves.
We fine-tune the game to the nth degree. A single combat move will often be worked on for you know, a whole day by the combat designers. A tremendous amount of attention to detail is required to really get the emphasis right and make sure that the player is experiencing what you wanted them to experience.
With gameplay this epic, the creative team worked especially hard in giving the game a grandiose feel that would appease the very gods upon which it is based.
So we spent a lot of time working on a really good camera system that allows very kind of cinematic camera shots. You know, you can have a traveling camera follow the character along a corridor, and it can do anything that you could do in film. To feel like it's raining, we spent a lot of time working out how to make a rain effect that was really convincing as a rain effect. You walk into a desert, we wanted to get a kind of a desert sandstorm feel.
In coming up with a way to match the game's legendary story with its visual style, two types of animation were fused together to immerse the player into the game.
Well, we've explored the idea of a new visual for what we call the cinematics, which is the in-game movies for this story. Images become 2D instead of the traditional 3D, but then they transition back to 3D and start moving around, and they transition back to 2D.
When you first see the camera just kind of zoom through these 2D plates, almost like you're moving through a photograph. Once the camera focuses on a character or a certain thing that's going on, that's when it just all of a sudden pops into 3D.
And the idea is that these are all memories of Kratos, they're all flashbacks, and it's told so it's instantly identifiable by the audience that things are hazy, it's clear, you can tell what's going on, but it's that dreamlike feel that we wanted to get across, that these memories are forced on him. He doesn't want to remember, but they're forced on him.
Just as the tales of ancient Greece have resonated throughout time, God of War concludes with an ending that's sure to have gamers talking through the ages and possibly paving the way for stories into the future.
Kratos, before you reach Athens, there is a task you must complete.
God of War is our attempt to really elevate the action-adventure genre to the next level. We wanted to bring combat, exploration, navigation, puzzle solving, all of sort of the classic elements of the genre, but we wanted to bring those to players in a fresh way, in a way that they haven't really seen before. If we're successful, which I think we will be, we'll get to tell stories about Kratos for a long time.
You will need the power of the gods. Take this weapon, Kratos. Take this power and use it to defeat your enemies.
The gods sent me to destroy you!
Rated M for mature. engrossing, says GameSpy. A quantum leap forward in battlefield simulation, says Game Informer. Shock-inducing, awe-inspiring, states EGM. The most authentic military gaming experience. The greatest commanders don't just lead their men to victory, they lead them home. Full Spectrum Warrior, coming soon for PlayStation 2.
Club 3, Dub Edition. This product is not yet rated.
guess this is supposed to be my big speech where I say something heart-stirring and get you all wound up for the fight. Thing is, I don't know how to do that. I'm just a grunt. What I do know is this. If we fail today, we fail not only ourselves, we fail the world. That's no exaggeration. We save the world here, now, today, or die trying.
Taking fire!
Oh, it's on.
Someday, and that day may never come, I may call upon you to do a service for me. But, until that day, accept this as a gift.
And we are off and running. Grab it!
With all this action and great prizes on the line, you know it has to be PlayStation Big Hookup. What's that all about, you say? To refresh your memory.
The PlayStation Big Hookup is a 10-city tour where we've gone to amateur skate parks and tried to locate the best up-and-coming action sports talent. 10 different skate parks in 10 cities. The top 10 finalists in each action sports discipline, inline, skateboard, and BMX. We flew them to camp for an all-expense-paid week of training at Camp Woodward, the premier action sports camp in the country.
Yes, it's true. PlayStation picked up the tab to bring 30 of the hottest young action sports prospects to the mecca of action sports training.
Woodward is a very special place. Obviously, it's a camp, but it's a mix of facilities and staff that are very passionate about the sports we do. If you looked at the X Games and some of the major competitions, I would have to say that 95% of those athletes all were part of the Woodward family at one point and still are.
In other words, if you want to be the best, you got to train with the best. But no one can train 24/7. There has to be some time to chill out. That's when the PlayStation Lounge comes into full effect.
The PlayStation Lounge is kind of a social area where kids can get together, check out what PlayStation has to offer, as well as, you know, to have that full camp experience of hanging out with friends right here at camp.
They can't skate, they can't bike, they can't inline skate 100% of the time. So they're in the lounge. They can go down there and cool off and sit in a video game and relax a little bit, but they're right back at it. So it has been a big improvement, no question about it.
Let's not forget why the 30 talented athletes were really here. To train hard with the best instructors for a week, then compete for a grand prize in each discipline: BMX, inline, and skateboard.
After the week of training, there was a competition here among the winners, and we picked one grand prize winner in each discipline.
The finals format featured 10 open jam sessions, followed by a 2-minute showcase. Then the top 3 from the preliminaries of each discipline competed in the finals for the grand prize.
PlayStation Big Hookup Grand Prize winner will get $5,000 and the opportunity to train at Camp Woodward, either East or West campuses in 2005.
It started out rough, and it turned into probably one of the greatest times I've been on my bike. Insane riding, cool people, atmosphere is insane, so it's worth it. It was unreal. I mean, it was probably one of the best contests you could see. Just a bunch of amateurs riding like pros.
After 10 PlayStation Big Hookup events across the country, the week-long training camp at Camp Woodward, the bumps, the bruises, the wrecks, and the final competitions, these guys weren't just action sports heroes, but endurance champs as well.
This is like the biggest contest I've ever won, and like, I just can't believe I've never done a run like that in my life. Like, I just landed all of my tricks, and all my tricks were hard for me, so it's just crazy.
I've never been in such like a large amateur competition like that. Like something with like, where the stakes are just like so high. When I was announced the winner, it was complete shock because this is like a dream come true. And being the first winner of something like this, just, you know, tops it off.
From Northern California, ladies and gentlemen,
It was so much fun. I love competing. I love riding with other riders and egging each other on to just pull the hardest stuff. You know, one person pulls one thing, and then you want to pull another, and then the crowd gets in it, and you feed off that mostly. And people scream. It's all over from there because you just start pedaling and you don't stop.
And there's no stopping PlayStation Big Hookup. It just keeps rolling along.
PlayStation has always supported action sports, but we wanted to do something more grassroots where we actually get involved with the up-and-coming riders and help them perfect their sport. Everybody supports everyone else, and the kids were so excited about the prizes that we gave away, and we saw some amazing talent.
Next year, we're hoping to make the Big Hookup even bigger. We hope to get a lot more kids involved for next year, and we're looking forward to meeting a lot more kids, so it's going to be really exciting.
We're going to have bigger prizes, more kids entering. We're going to be flying more kids to the camp to get a week training here at Woodward, and we're going to keep bringing the kids the best gaming experience that they can have.
So keep on practicing and be on the lookout for your chance to score with
PlayStation, baby!